All right, man. Welcome to
Hey,
Go with the Flow. How's it going, man?
hey Noah.
Where the hell are you? That looks
Yeah,
Asian.
well, yeah, we might have to play 20 questions see if you can guess. But what do you
Japan?
even see? What do you see in the background? Let me know if what you see.
Dude, it's that's some people or some cars. Are you like in an urbanization or something? Like a residency?
Nope, I
I don't
am not in a very urban place. No, I'm not. I'd say no.
know. There's a lot of light behind you. I don't know.
You're right. You're right. There's a lot of light behind me. I agree. I set up my shop pretty well to have some cool light.
Is that your
Yeah,
house?
I am not inside a house. I wish my house was as beautiful. That'd be amazing.
Damn, man. No, I cannot guess where you are. You're always like in somewhere else.
But
Some new
you
place.
had a good question. You said I was in South Asia. I don't know how you figured that
Definitely
out, but you're
Asia.
right.
Definitely
Here,
Asia
maybe.
because it's fucking pitch black.
Oh fuck yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm outside in the black. I have to be somewhere Asian. You're right. I'm in Vietnam right now.
Vietnam?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, how cool is that? How are you doing there, man?
I feel great. I have been in Vietnam for about 10 days. No, wait. No, I've been here for 7, 8 days. When I flew from China, I was in yeah, I was traveling around the Shenzhen area, but quite more towards the Guangzhou area. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know any of those, man. I haven't
Okay,
been
wait.
to Asia ever, actually,
Okay,
but
so yeah. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, Shenzhen is like the iPhone capital of the world, man.
oh, really?
Yeah, that's where they make iPhones for sure. It's like the tech capital of the world.
Interesting.
All the hardware was planned and made around Shenzhen.
Interesting. So, what are you doing over there? Are you working?
Well, I'm working. I consider this kind of work in some ways, like a tiny bit. Like it's a fun work, but I consider it like in the work spectrum of things because we're talking about. Well, we're on a finding flow state podcast, which I think is blockchain related, or maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see
This is
here,
the Go with the Flow podcast. Finding flow states, a different one.
dude. Your title's wrong. Come on. No,
Yeah,
it says finding flow state. I should
I made a mistake. A deal and go with the flow.
or go with the flow. Fuck. My I don't know if you know this, but my sister lives in Vietnam.
Oh,
And
really?
she's been living in Vietnam for 4 years with her husband and 2 kids. So I have two nephews, little nephews, like little nephews that are been living in Vietnam for 4 years. And she's not. I mean, her husband isn't Vietnamese. They're traveling teachers. So they
Hmm.
yeah, they travel for work.
Cool. Traveling teachers? What do they teach?
It's kind of odd, but like, can you imagine? Okay, where are you right now, Noah?
I'm in Denver.
Okay, well, that's exactly how they work. I mean, Denver is America, and America is such a powerful country that in every international city, there is a school that is kind of like branded the American school. It's where expats go to be like, you know what, I want an American education because that's the
Oh,
best education.
interesting.
So a lot of rich Asians send their kids to an American school because they want to go to a school where there's American teachers and English teachers, and everybody's kind of like on a curriculum that is more Americanized or Westernized. And
Mm.
my sister and her husband both are, like they have degrees in teaching, and they have been teaching abroad for the last 20 years, I think, almost 20 years. No, not quite. Uh, 17 years, 16 years maybe, at international schools. And most of the time it's an American school, like branded like American school. And apparently those are like the
But they're
top
Canadian, right?
schools. My sister's Canadian, her husband's American, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if they need to get divorced now with Trump. Is that what they have to
Dude,
do? I don't know, man. I don't know how that
there's
works.
so much going on with that, man. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I should say congratulations, but I kind of like the new prime minister.
Well, I'm glad. Nice.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah, I'm glad you like it.
that went like 2 days ago, the elections in Canada. There's so much crazy stuff going on, man. I actually had to travel to Vancouver for a wedding, and I don't think I'm gonna make it because I don't even know if I can get back to the US. With everything that's going on.
Hmm. Man, I've heard this a few times. I've heard a lot of people be like, "Man, I don't want to travel to the U.S. or I don't want to travel to Canada." Weird.
Hmm.
My assumption is like the borders are probably just exactly the same as they were before, except that always for people with green cards or like weird visas. Yeah, I wouldn't. You're right. You're right. That's you, isn't it?
That's what
You
I
have
do.
a
That's me.
fuck. I forgot. I forgot. You are exactly targeted by this shit.
And I'm
God.
Venezuelan. They're targeting Venezuelans. So
Are you hiding in a room right now away from the government there, Noah?
I'm hiding in Denver, which is a sanctuary city.
Oh, lucky. I love this bubble room you're part of right now. Where are you?
I'm in a workspace called Enterprise. It's kind of like WeWork, but in downtown Denver, the art
Oh,
area. It's like
I
a,
love
a rental office.
I love how artsy that is. Okay, so I'll
Yeah.
get. I know you don't know where I am, but I'm on a little island in Vietnam,
Oh
and I'm in a
wow.
little. Since my sister just came to the island. Well, fuck. Oh god, that was scary.
Oh no, the light is gone.
Oh, it's still here. Okay, so I'm kind of like surrounded
Wow,
by like
man, that's.
yeah, I don't know.
I only have one question. Do you have like a lot of mosquitoes?
Uh, you know what? It's past dusk, so I don't. There's no mosquitoes. Mosquitoes
Cool.
typically only come out during dew and dusk, is what I've found in the past. But
That's the
I
only
don't know.
thing that would bother me in that kind of area. Other than that, it looks amazing. Actually, Venezuela has a lot of places like that are like a little lake, a river, and you have like a little thing around it, and it's pretty cool. So I like that, man. I like that. I tried to be upstairs in the roof where you could see all the Denver mountains in the background, but the Wi-Fi didn't get me there. So I'm
Yeah,
here now.
I was trying to look for a place. I wanted to be super cool because I know your podcast is. It's about
Whatever you
go with
are,
the
man.
flow.
I've done 3 episodes right now, and they all in a different place. The first one was like in Miami, and the second one was in like a basement.
Well, you know what? So I started a podcast about 3 months ago, I think, and we've done 11 episodes now. And
That's it.
excited, I was excited to go on your podcast because I know you were just a different vibe, man. This is a different vibe. Like we're not. Yeah, I like it. I was excited for it, so I
We're
actually totally
just
get it.
vibing, man. That's just vibing. Actually, I mean, honestly, we can talk about anything. I kind of have like I like it to start like with a personal question because I want to kind of get to know my guest in a personal human side. If you're okay with that, totally.
Yeah,
And
go for it.
also,
Go for it.
yeah. So let me see. Who? So I already have this question prepared. Who do you think taught you the most about love?
Whoa, that's a deep question. Okay, okay.
This is exciting.
I had two answers, but I'm gonna go my dad. My dad taught me.
Your dad? Can you elaborate on that?
Sure, sure. I don't know how to explain it, but my dad taught me to hug. Actually, you know,
Dude, that's big.
and he taught me that hugging is
Wow.
important. Like um, he in many other things, but this is one element of love that I think is true that I was learned from my dad. Is like he truly makes an effort to hug, and he would when we were growing up, he would always like push for it. Like, hey, give me a hug. But typically that happens as kids, but you grow out of it, right? My dad
Hmm.
didn't stop that pestering. And as teenagers and, getting into our 18-year-olds, we hated giving hugs and we stopped giving hugs to my dad. But he didn't stop asking. And
Hmm.
he kept persevering through our years of being youthful. And like he'd almost like pester you to a point like he's asked 20 times over 30 days, you're just like, okay, fuck. I guess I gotta give him a hug. It's been so many days where I've said no. You just have to, right? But like
Well,
he taught me that like, he was so persistent that now when he asks for a hug, I know he just wants a hug, and I give him a hug, and I
yeah,
enjoy giving him a hug because I get that he likes it, and I like it
yeah.
now too. So it took like 15 years of wearing me down, and then finally I'm like, I get it. This is love. This is he loves me. I get it.
Dude, that is huge. I'm actually so glad that you told me that, and thank you for sharing. Honestly, is a good example of how. actually that should be? I mean, what does your dad do? What is like his profession?
My dad was an accountant for most of his years. Um, yeah, he got an accounting degree, I think, or certification, and worked in accounting for many, many years. And he started off private side, and then he moved towards working for the government as an auditor, I think. I don't know, in a few different sides of the government, but auditing in the auditing department. And he
Mm.
worked as an auditor for a long time for the CRA, which is the equivalent of the I don't know what it's called in the states. What is it? Is it the
The IRC,
yeah? You got it. You got it. IRS.
IRS, yeah,
Yeah, it's the IRS for the Canada, which is called the CRA.
interesting,
Yeah.
right? That's so interesting because that hugs actually are so powerful. When you hug somebody long enough, I think it's about between 8 to 10 seconds. Your bodies actually start secreting endorphin. I think is I don't know if it's endorphins or serotonin. I think it's the chemical of love, which actually the chemical of connection. Of intimacy. Like when you hug somebody, you actually connect with them on a chemical level. If you do it long enough, and that's very powerful, and I'm very impressed that your dad just naturally did that, right, and pushed for it because he obviously knew the value in it. Sounds like he was a guy that I don't know. It sounds like an interesting dad. Sounds like a
Yeah.
good dad.
No. Thanks. No, I think he was, and I agree with everything you said. I think um, uh, it's funny how the chemicals of the body work. To be honest, and like you said,
Mm.
serotonin. It's such an odd thing. Most people don't consider growing up. How affected you are based on the chemical imbalances and the different pheromones and the different chemicals that change your moods and aspirations and certain things that trigger them and certain things that make them interesting. I don't know. It was quite interesting.
Chemicals, man, is everything at the smallest level. That everything they explain everything, especially in human chemical stuff. I used to hate chemistry in school. I was bad at it. I hated it. I didn't want to even understand it. But now I really appreciate it, and try to investigate a little bit about it. But anyway, that was my personal question. I actually wanted to ask you a bit about like what have you been doing recently, man? Are you working on something? You building anything?
Yeah, I have a few projects on the go. What can I share?
Hey, I still have piñata on the list. I actually did not try it out because I wanted this to happen. I wanted to try it out on here. If you
Okay.
if you're up for it, I can share my screen and try it out.
Um, I think it's not quite set up for you to be. Uh, it's going to be okay, but it won't be perfect.
Damn, it
Um,
doesn't have to be perfect, bro.
you know what? I'm okay with it. I think we can look at it at least. I
Okay,
wish it'd be more exciting, but I think it's going to give you some adventure. So we should do it. We should do it. Yes. Piano's still going, by the way. We had a call. I had a call on it 2 days ago.
what's
I
still going? Piñata?
Piata. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's just I would say it's sort of on hiatus. And let me
Mm,
explain where Pinata's at, and maybe it's one
cool.
project I'm working on slowly. But I okay, I'll tell you what. Wait, what am I doing? Let me try to overall tell you what I'm working on because that's
Sure,
interesting at least.
sure. Right on.
So I'm in a lull, kind of like a learning lull slash a working lull slash a business lull, and I've been here before actually a couple times. So I'm actually very comfortable right now in what this feels like and what how to handle it. Typically in my life, I've done a lot of businesses, and I enjoy business, and I enjoy starting things and getting part of like crazy hype cycles and building them and trying to make some money and having some fun. But I find on the averages, they only last for somewhere between 2 and 4 years, and typically
Mm.
around the 3 4 year mark, I somehow find a way to get out of them actually, and like a way to sell my stake in them because I'm not interested in them anymore, or the hype cycle dies down and just naturally ends. And that's happened a few times actually in my life. And then typically what happens after that is I go through a year or two of like learning, trying to find the next thing, but mostly like working on myself and
Good.
going to like tropical islands because that's what I like, and doing like weird adventure things that like I want to check off my list. I find it's learning, and I actually waste so much money at it too. Like I have a budget that I've saved while I'm in the hype cycle, and I spend some of that during the lull cycle, and I'm in a like lull cycle.
It sounds like a good way of balancing work with your mental health and your essence as a soul in a human.
Dude, I feel fit, man. Since like I feel in the last 9 months transitioning to lull cycle, I lost 30 pounds. I feel great. Like
Dude,
yeah, I can tell like the lull cycle is good for me. It's healthy for me. It's how I find my passions again, and it's how I find what I really want to do. So yeah, I'm in a lull cycle, and I have like 6 projects on the go that are not that great. Not that there's some of them are interesting, but they're not supposed to be like great ideas. They're
right.
kind of just like my
Like
ideas that are
passion projects.
sort of, yeah, sort of passiony, sort of like off the wall, kind of, like things like that. Yeah, definitely.
I like those idea. I actually been working on a couple of off the wall, kind of crazy.
Dude, you also have off the wall ideas, man. I love some of your off the wall ideas, and I like that you're still pursuing them. Like, I think it's awesome that you can pursue them for, as long times as you do. And that's because I think you're free, man. I think you seem free to me. You're a free
Yeah,
spirit, and yeah, I don't know.
thank you, man. I actually appreciate that. I actually really appreciate you saying that. Thank you for those words. Just yesterday, I launched an app. Oh, it's not an app; it's a website. It's called Flowternity, and basically, you just like connect your Flow wallet and you upload a picture. It can be up to I think 2 megabytes, and it's on chain forever. It's on the blockchain forever.
Cool.
You did encode it on base 64, right? And you just put the entire base 64 on flow, and you mint it as an NFT inside your account, so it's gonna be inside your account forever, and you can transfer it and stuff. So it's kind of cool because I'm kind of using it to troll people, and like, hey man, I'm gonna grab your most embarrassing moment and I'm gonna post it on blockchain forever, man.
I like it. I like it. I've thought of that. I've thought of like hate porn being on chain. I'm like, oh fuck, it's gonna wreck things. But oh god, that's messed up. I'm like you, man. Where I like I hacked together a project for the election.
Oh
Really,
yeah.
really dumb.
Oh, I think I saw that. I think
Looney
you
bets.
talked about it.
Loonybets.ca. I did something really weird, and it's hard to explain what I did. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. But that project was a West Coast project that stalled out and was done and die. But I had a whole bunch of assets already made. Like it was already planned out, right? So I was like, fuck, I just need 2 hours to code this and one helper to help me for 2 hours. Like, this is done. And then the election was coming, and I was like, my goal was to get it done before the election. So the day before the election or the night of, I just fucking hacked it out and launched it. And it wasn't
Cool.
supposed to do, but it wasn't supposed to do anything. It wasn't actually blockchain hooked up, but it was a representation of the race.
Hmm.
And I know it's not obvious, but I tricked 3 people into thinking the website was real, and that makes me so happy because I got
Well,
3 people to think that, like, holy fuck, this website is showing all these bets and the data, and it looks right, right? And all I really
wow.
was doing was committing and pushing code every 3 minutes with new data. Like
Oh.
like literally what I was doing was manually updating the
Carol.
odds and the charts every like 3 minutes live. Okay, let me explain something. No, I don't know if you know this or not, but like during election results, the data
Yeah.
is really confusing. Can
Yeah.
you imagine that?
Even after,
Like,
it's really confusing too.
well, fuck, this is so really confusing. But like, what happened? Like, okay, so for what happens is it's so dumb, but like all the news organizations get like hard-ons for poll results and election results, and they start on the East Coast because the East Coast is where the polls end first, and they move west. And when you have 1% of the polls coming in, they make wild assumptions about, oh my god, this state is blue,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's only 1% of the polling. Or like, what are you guys even talking about? Right? There's nothing. This isn't data, right? But
Yeah.
the anchors are like, whoa, this is a big win for the red team. Like, what the fuck? So what happens though is all this news energy gets pushed to the gambling markets and pushes the
Right.
prices like wildly, right?
Right.
And this is what happened during this like
Oh, I
hour
see.
period where people thought the blue team was going to win in Canada, and the
Hmm.
prices were like crazy fluctuating in this like 30-minute window. And I was watching it during that time because I like gambling on this stuff, and I was pushing code to my site to make it look like the data was real. And I was also sending it to all my friends in our server, and people just be like, "Oh my god, look at this! I don't know who built this." And some people were just like, "Whoa, shit, that's right," and like I tricked at least 3 people. I'm like, "Wow,
I don't know who
dumb."
built this, but look at it. That's how I'm gonna do my things now. Hey, look at this thing.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to be the face of the thing.
Yeah,
You want
I
to be
get it.
anonymous. You want to be anonymous. I get it.
Definitely.
You know, I,
I
I you know.
suck
Sorry, go on.
at being anonymous, man. I suck at it. Anyone who wants to find out who did anything, I will find out I did it. I don't care. They can come get me.
So, yeah.
Bro, what's going on with West Coast? What's West Coast future? Like, and honestly, what is West Coast past? I honestly don't understand West Coast NFTs complete history, or like
That's a,
where does it start? How did it get involved with blockchain or NFTs? What's going on?
wow. That's a good question. Wow. History lesson on West Coast. Wow. Yeah, I can try. I can try to tell you the history. Um. Okay, where should I start though? Like, this is such a hard question. Like, do
I
you
mean, you
want me to
can
start
start
with
with
like
your
do you
involvement.
want
Are you like
do you
the
want me to
founder?
start with like Egyptian time, or like Roman time, or like when Jesus was cremated, or do we start like at the Middle Ages, or like, or are we supposed to go back to the dinosaurs? I don't understand how the time scale works. Like,
You can
oh
start from
god.
the beginning, man. Just like in Alice in Wonderland.
So I don't know
Start
if I'm
from the
supposed to start at the beginning. I think you said it right. I'm supposed to start when I showed up because that's
Yeah,
just
exactly. I think you should start with your involvement.
I'll start 2 months before I showed up because I want to pretend like I know what happened 2 months before. But I,
Cool.
I really don't. I wasn't there, right? So I'll try to pretend like I knew what happened 2 months before. So it's my understanding Richard convinced
Who
this
is Richard?
crew. You don't know Richard?
I don't know who Richard is.
God, it's so funny. Okay, so oh god.
I
Okay,
don't know anybody. I barely
Richard.
know Steve.
Okay, Richard is spelled Richerd. So it's an E instead of an A in the word Richard. And
Okay.
you can look him up on Twitter later. His name is Richard. Okay, so Richard was in NFTs in 2020 in December. So I don't know if you remember back then. I don't think you do. I don't know if you're part of it. I don't think you were part of NFTs back then. Maybe you're part of blockchain. I don't know. But he was one of the founding people of our corporation, and he was talking to old investors, including Steve, about how cool NFTs are. And Steve came up with the name West Coast NFT. Why? Because he lives on the West Coast and his buddies are on the West Coast in LA. They all live on the West Coast. They're like West Coast NFT. Great name, right? So that's what they called their usernames for their NFTs that they were buying. And they were buying a boatload of NFTs in like January, February of 2020.
2020. That's like before the boom, boom, boom.
22, 2021, 21? Yeah, 2021.
21 is a boom with
Yeah.
Axis Infinity and all of that.
Yeah, so sorry, 2021. My mistake. Richard was there December 2020, but Steve and others were there 2021 January, February, and Adil shows up February, March 2021.
Okay.
So I meet Richard the first week of February at a campfire. He tells me what NFTs. I know about NFTs already from a month ago, but Richard actually explains it to me at a deep level, and I go, holy fuck, that's a paradigm shift, and I
Mm.
understand. And then what I do is I stalk Richard because I want to join NFTs after that meeting with him at that campfire, and I text him and I go, hey, he. I figured out where his office was by asking him. I was like, hey, oh, you working downtown? Oh, cool. What's your work? Oh, 7th to 7th, cool. And I like showed up that area, and I was like, oh, hey, Richard, I'm in your area. Oh, what's up? Are you around here? Like, I knew he's at work. I know he's at the office, right? And he's like, oh, you're in my, yeah, I'm just upstairs in the office. I'm like, oh, cool. You know, like I come up to his office and it's just him working. Andrew's there too, actually, but just Richard, like
Oh, yeah.
just Richard doing NFTs. Andrew's not doing NFTs, by the way. Richard's just
Okay.
going crazy about NFTs, and it's
Oh.
February, and I went to his office and I asked him, "Hey, Richard, can I pay you guys to sit at this desk that's next to you? Like, I know you're in your office, but there's this empty desk here. Can I pay $300 a month to sit here and have a key card? Can I just come here?" I just could feel the energy out of him, and I was like, I need to be next to this dude because he knows everything about NFTs, and I know this is going to be huge. So then Richard, I said, like, that's a weird request for somebody to ask you to pay to be in their office, right? But he's just like, let's talk. We'll think about it, right? And then he calls up Steve and he asks Steve, hey, Steve, my good buddy Adil wants to join the team somehow. How, like, he wants to work in our space. I think he'd make a good intern. Can we hire him? And Steve says, hey, just give him a 1 month contract at, like, intern salary, and yeah, what's the worst that can happen? We'll see if he's good or not, right? And that's what they do. And then I get a phone call from Steve, and we do a 30-minute call, and they hire me for 1 month, and that's what I want, actually. Perfect. And in 1 month, I just follow Richard around and learn everything he knows, and I'm all, yeah, yeah. That's the origin story.
Wait, so what did you do in that month that they went and said, "Hey, yeah, we need to have this guy here forever"?
I don't know. I did a lot of stuff. I don't know if there was one thing. There's a lot of weird things. I think they could feel the passion out of me. There was a lot of, I was willing to hustle and do a lot of weird things. And just I was the second member of the team, besides, well, third, Richard, Steve. But the problem was Steve was already running another organization entirely, and
Right.
Richard was already partnering with his buddies to start a brand new organization called Manifold, and he didn't want to build this NFT division under the existing company he was helping that he didn't really want to work for. Like, he wanted to
Right.
start a whole new entity with his buddies because he knew that'd be the way to build a big thing. That's how they built Manifold. Um,
Okay.
so I'm at the office actually while they're raising for Manifold, and um, they're like trying to build Manifold. Like, Manifold hasn't existed yet, but they're trying to start the company. And I actually even asked, I'm like, hey, can I just join Manifold instead of this? And they're just like, no, you're not good enough. Sorry, but you can run this division. You can run this division though. This division's small enough for your caliber. Like, he kind of like gave me a face, like, nah, you're not good enough. I'm sorry. And I
Straight
was
to
like, all
it.
right, that's fine. All right, whatever, it's fine. So that division became West Coast. It was West Coast right from the start because Steve named it West Coast NFT. He
Right.
bought a bunch of NFTs. He named it West Coast NFT, and it was me, the first person to be an intern there.
Interesting. And what was like their vision when it started? What was Steve's
There's
and your
there was
vision?
they didn't
What was
have a
what was
vision.
Steve for? Like I hear you're saying that we're collecting NFTs, but what were they going to do
There
with
was
these?
no there was they don't know what they needed. They needed to do it in NFTs, and I was like, okay, I'm here. Hello.
Hmm.
Like, they didn't know what they needed, and it only became stuff after we started, like, just hustling in it. And
What was the first thing you guys did as like money? Like
sure,
what
sure,
what
sure.
was the
So,
first
money
paid
or
job?
first thing that was first paid thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, sure. So first paid thing was a thing called Hall of Fame Goat Lodge. No, no, is that right? That's not true. Wait, is that right? I think it was. I think it was Hall of Fame Goat Lodge, which was a PFP project that happened just after Bored Apes.
Hmm.
that made,
Hmm.
I don't know, X amount of money, and we took a good cut of that. And we hacked it together in 3 days. They were at the finish line, but they couldn't.
Without
Their
AI.
dev their devs couldn't do it. Like I don't know, they had a
Right.
hard time with the finish, and me, Wei, and Richard were on a call at 3 a.m. hacking it together to get it, to the finish
Like,
line and
well, they
push
had
it.
like what was the block? Like Solidity or?
Oh, it was Solidity. It was Solidity. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This was before all the infrastructure existed, right?
Right.
Like MetaVask was there, but there wasn't like all this like support infra. You
Hmm.
got all the support for like WagMe kit and like all of this
Hmm.
like infrastructure wasn't there at all, and nobody done much. It was just like Bored Apes just launched, and that was kind of like a template, but we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, totally. Wow. So
But
that's a great origin story.
but
So,
hold on a second. But that's not really where the first money started. The first money started with flipping NFTs on Nifty Gateway 6 months before that.
gateway, what do you mean? Like what?
Wait, you don't know what Nifty Gateway is, do you?
No, like what was the NFT? What did you do that made the first money?
Well, it was just buy art and then sell it when it was higher.
So that's what you guys were doing. You were like hustling art on NFTs. That's what you were buying NFTs for, to resell
Okay,
them.
wait. So, oh god, there's so much story here. Okay, Richard built a bot and made bought a lot of NFTs on Nifty Gateway before Nifty Gateway had infrastructure to sell NFTs. Like, like,
Wait a minute. These people deploy like a smart contract on Ethereum or whatever, but they
yeah,
didn't have
but
like the UI.
no, but their front end was like shit. Their front end was like there's no
Right.
bot protection and there's no form detection and there's like
Right.
they just hide things behind a button, but it's still there on the code. Like this was like hacked together, right? Everything's just hacked, right? Nifty Gateway started and nobody cared, and then all of a sudden a lot of people started caring. The reason why they started caring is because the price kept going up. People kept hearing about NFTs and the money just started pouring in, right? Like, okay, here's why I started following Richard around is because um I got access to his bot, right? And I'm up at 3 a.m. one night. I'm looking at the data. And I'm like, ooh, this looks pretty good. And I don't like to go into things with small money. I like to know. I like to like go in or don't go in, right? I want to jump in the deep end or I don't want to go. So like I threw 14 grand on a credit card and bought an NFT. My first NFT was 14 grand.
Damn, man.
And
What
I
was it?
and I had to fucking load up my fucking credit card with cash. It's a Mad Dog Jones piece called Deja Vu. And the reason why I bought it is because I could see from the bot data it was going up. And then I immediately flipped it, a day later for 20 grand or whatever it was. I don't know, it was maybe like 10 to
Wow.
20 or whatever. And it was an obvious play to me at the time, but maybe not. Maybe it was stupidly risky to be honest. This could have been a bubble that blew up. But at my time I was like, no, this makes sense to me. Let's do it. And then making my first 10K, well, now it was obvious that like, no, okay, I got to keep doing this. And I didn't really want to be a flipper and make money that way. I wanted to build, but making 10K proved to me there was something here.
Right. Yeah, definitely. That there was money
Yeah,
to
like
be
money
made.
appeared out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, okay, well, there
Like
means
there's a
there's
lot
more
of money.
money.
You don't have to necessarily just do it by getting money by flipping. There's a lot of way of making money. But
Exactly.
yeah, and all this flipping stuff, I don't judge it because I feel like that's how new technologies emerge. They follow the money, the degens, buying stuff, flipping. That's how things evolve or have a start.
Yeah, that's the origin story. Yeah,
So that was the core. Sorry that I'm eating. Was that the core team? You, Steve, and Richard.
mostly me and Richard off the onset. Steve bought a lot of NFTs. Holy shit. Steve believed and like pulled the trigger on a lot and flipped some too, I'm sure, and made some money on NBA Top Shots and like, yeah. And his crew also did too. The West Coast NFT investor guys, they were early as well. I mean, somewhat good or somewhat bad, depending. I don't know. I don't know their books, but they seemed like they were early. But then the team started growing. So like we had Mac, which was another org that they tried to put some money into, and I was advising them a bit on their like they were trying to launch a project with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. And I'm like, that's like slam dunk. Are you kidding me? And they launched Stoner Cats. That's what that became, which is
Hmm.
crazy. Yeah, like a lot of stuff happened.
So you became an intern in like February, right? And then
Yeah.
spend a month as an intern, and then you were part of the team, and then you guys started doing something like. When did you guys get involved with like MFers and Doodles and
Yeah.
all the
So like Hall of Fame Goat Lodge was first, and then there was a bunch of others, and then there was like 20 projects that we worked on that kicked ass. Um, yeah, Doodles, MFers. I don't know when Doodles and MFers were. I think somewhere like September, October of 2021. I can't quite remember, to be honest. Um, Around there, and we just kept going. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It was probably like 3 months me being an intern, to be honest, before the team kind of like started revolving. And I
Mhm.
obviously was not the most qualified. I was the hardest hustler, but like the other devs that showed up who were part of the founding circles from before of old sister companies had way more experience with blockchain infrastructure and proficiency coding. But one thing that I think I brought to the table was the hustle, the passion, and an eye for deal making. Sort of like I knew what was winners and losers, and I was really loud about that. I was like, these people feel like losers. I don't want to. Let's not talk to them. These people feel like winners, and Ivan was good at that too. But yeah, I don't know. I think I was good at being a tastemaker, even though I didn't realize that's what I was doing.
Right,
Of like picking. I think it's because I've worked with a lot of, I've built a lot of businesses and projects, so I know how to execute.
right,
I'm not scared to execute, and that made it easy for me to determine if teams wanted to go forward or were going to be annoying and not go forward. So I just selected teams that looked like they knew how to execute, and I pushed for all those projects. Um, but I was not the best dev, and I was not the best blockchain infrastructure guy. I didn't know a lot of the stuff. I had to learn on the job.
right. Yeah, because you're like a chemical, mechanical engineer, right?
Yeah, yeah, but you know what? To be honest, I mean, in school, I liked computers more, and I almost went into computer engineering. I picked computer. I went mechanical engineering, then computer engineering. Like I loved to code at university. I think what's funny about engineering is it may even teach you this is like it doesn't really matter which one you picked. It's the years of university and if you paid attention and care, or the years after that too, which like um, those years are what makes you an engineer. Like you think like an engineer. That's it.
Yeah, basically, yeah, the way you solve or the way you see problems and you cannot see how to fix the parts to solve them. Yeah, it's definitely like a mindset.
Okay,
Man,
well, hey Noah, I gotta ask you some questions. I don't want
yeah,
to be
sure,
interviewed anymore. Um,
sure.
uh, I want to ask you some questions, and then I want to wrap this up. Um, Noah, Noah. Um, what do I want to know? I want to know what the rest of your room looks like to start, because I see these bubbles on the wall. Can you
This
show me
is
what the
not
rest
my
of
room.
your room looks like?
This
Where
is
are
like
you?
the office. I'm in the office, bro. Like this is the office.
Oh, okay, okay. So there's. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's helpful to know. Thanks. Okay,
Yeah,
I love to see
it's
where
like a
people
big
are
workspace.
because I like to see it. This is fun to know where you are. You know. What is this beautiful sweater you have on? I think it's a flow sweater.
Bro, this is my favorite sweater, honestly, because I got it from winning the first Flow hackathon. And they sent it to me for one of the prizes, and it's so good, man. Like I washed it
Can,
like
can,
hundred
can,
times,
can you tell me what's on the
and it's
side
still
there on the sleeves? What is on the sleeves?
this.
Yeah. Look at it. Oh, that looks so cool. Wow. What does that represent? It represents something. Wow.
I have
It's
no
like a
idea what the hell
collision.
this is. Now that I
It's
think
like
about it, I could have been wearing like a, I don't know,
I like it.
some weird
It
symbol.
feels it feels like it's a physics theory of collisions or something or flow or something. I don't know. What's the other side? What's the other sleeve?
I don't
Okay.
even know, man. What?
Oh.
Just I never questioned this. Actually, I've never seen it this way. Like I've never looked at it. in front of a mirror or anything. It's like
I'm just gonna
looking
say,
at
like, I love this design, and I gotta say, like,
uh,
they really like made this sweater dope. You know what? That's not easy to do, right? Like, you got to do a lot of
yeah,
work to make sweaters this nice. I can tell also, like, on the collar, you have like button. Oh, there's like holes, like proper grommets
yeah.
at the top. Yeah,
I
like, it
took
looks
the
great.
I took the thing it out the thing out, so it
Nice.
doesn't stretch anymore. But yeah, it had on something. Hey, I want to do something. I want to immortalize every episode. So can I take like a screenshot of us right now, and then can I put it on
Okay.
Flow Eternity
Of course,
forever?
of course, of course. Okay, so yeah, of course you can. Tell me
It's only,
how do you want it?
let me
Are we supposed to
see.
smile? Are we supposed to smile before 30? I don't think
You
it's
don't have to
smiling makes sense.
smile. I mean, you can
Um,
just do whatever you want. I could just like
yeah, I'm just gonna make my hat a little cooler. Like,
let me know when you're ready.
I'm gonna try to find the right hat orientation. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Okay, go for it.
Do you want to take the screenshot because it's probably gonna have your quality, and then I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm gonna take. We'll both do it.
You take it. You take it.
I did it.
Okay, send it to
I
me.
took two. I took two. I'll send you one. I'll send you one. Okay, I'll send it
Cool,
to you.
cool. Send it right now on the Discord, and I'll share my screen and I'll show you the crazy stuff that
Okay,
I'm
cool.
been working on.
Okay, where is the Discord? I don't know where Discord is.
The messages in Discord.
Sorry,
Just
our Discord. Got it. Okay, got it. Okay,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sending
yeah, yeah,
both.
yeah.
I'm sending this one. I think the second one was better. I didn't really look, but okay, I sent it to you.
This is fun. Have you been playing Crypto Kitties?
No, I'm not. I played it for about 45 minutes because Pearl Rustin told me to. He said he was so
He
excited
told you
about it, but he's so
he's so
excited about
excited
it.
about it.
Yeah, that I was like that. I wanted to play it. The egg one, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
But you know
the
what?
all the Zen, all the
Yeah.
Zen.
But I don't like. I don't like these kind of games. I only like shooters, man. I'm a first
Only like
person
shooter. I
shooter
mean,
guy.
shooters are like very good for like distressing and all.
Yeah, man. I like shooters. That's just my jam. If there was a shooter, I'd play it. And it's not like any shooters. I just want to play Counter Strike, to be honest. I only
Counter
like Counter
Strike,
Strike.
Counter
Counter Strike.
Strike, dude. That's a
Yeah.
classic, man. Which one
I
did you
don't.
play?
So I've played Counter Strike since 1.3, which is like 22 years ago. And Counter Strike 2 just came out, but my gaming laptop wasn't very happy with it, so I didn't play it. But um I'm gonna get a new gaming PC. I'm gonna play Counter Strike again. I really love Counter Strike, man. I like 5 on 5. I just don't like phone games. I don't like rudimentary games. I play chess, I guess, but I don't know.
Oh, it's not gonna let me. Yeah, it's it. Can you see this?
Yeah,
Can
I
you
can
see
see
the
it.
screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, cool. Let me see. So let's immortalize the picture that just saw. I don't know what wallet is connected, but I hope it is the right one. I'll put this here. Is this wallet? No, it's not this one. It is, but it's not. Okay. So, are you ready? You're gonna be on blockchain forever, man. As long as Flow exists, your face is gonna be there. Are you prepared?
I'm prepared.
I feel like we didn't get to talk about like what was the future of West Coast. We talked about the past, but we didn't get to talk about the future.
Yeah, I didn't push for it because I don't think I know.
We don't
I'll give
know.
you the final analogy and then I'll sign off. It's called a hiatus, man.
We
What
did
is
a
a hiatus?
hiatus.
You don't like the hiatus? It's a hiatus. What's a hiatus? It's like a band, man. You
It's
have a band and they're like been playing gigs and shows and doing albums for years and years and years, and sometimes they're just like a little tired. They're like, man, I've been on the road a lot. I want to have kids. I gotta stop playing in the band. Whoa, that was loud. Um,
sorry.
all good, all good, all good. Um,
There we go,
boom, it's blockchains.
man.
Yeah. So West Coast is on hiatus, man. We don't know. Maybe the band will get back together. Maybe they won't. Maybe one of the players will play a solo album. We don't know. It's like
What are you doing? What are you doing? What is your future? What are you building? That's fun, man.
um
We should create like chaotic apps or stuff, disruptive
um
technology.
what am I? I mean, I got a lot going on. Um, the biggest thing I have going on, I don't want to talk about it too much, but I am. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it on this podcast. It doesn't. It's just. It's. I talk about it a little bit on my podcast. I allude to it. I've alluded to it on my podcast a little bit, but I don't want to talk about it because I learned that I'm trying to manifest it right now, and if I can't put it into well put together words, it won't correctly manifest. So you have to like do the research and the hustling to figure out what it's supposed to be, and then you can say it out loud and manifest it.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
I get it.
it involves where I am right now. It
Yeah.
involves this part of the world where I am in. It involves where I was last week, and it involves that and coming home to Canada. It's I don't really know what it's supposed to be, but I know it's location, connectivity.
Sounds like you're on
Yeah,
a mission, man.
I definitely am. I'm really stoked about knowing 10 more words of Vietnamese I didn't know before. I'm stoked that I'm
Mm.
trying to learn Chinese a bit, even though it's really hard.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing about China I noticed. There's no, like, Google doesn't work in China. Um, I don't know if people appreciate that. Like, they don't realize that Google
Well, it's
doesn't
cutting
work
out
in
right there.
China. Cutting out?
Yeah, I cut out a little bit for me, but the
Yeah.
recording is gonna be fine, even though you know
Oh, wow. Cool.
you can
So
just keep going.
I was trying to say that like, Google doesn't exist in China. I don't know if people
Google
appreciate
doesn't exist.
how okay, it does exist in China, but I'm saying it doesn't exist in China because it's not useful in China. Because Google's written in English, and
Mm.
people in China don't typically speak it or write it. Everything's written in
Don't they have like
Chinese.
a translation stuff for everything?
Well, they have dedicated app infrastructure, and they use a different UI thinking methodology, and they use a different language. And yes, they do have some pieces of translation things inside of some of their apps, but a lot of them they don't. They do it in Chinese because 99% of China speaks Chinese. Only 1% of China even knows a little English or cares about it. So really,
Hmm.
China doesn't care about English or Google. You can't get Google reviews on this restaurant. It's not even listed. All these things are on China apps and China infrastructure, and that was eye opening to me. I was like, oh yeah, obviously, but I didn't know that. I gotta say, like, it's cool. It's cool to see a different world, and I gotta say, like, I feel quite when I'm there. I feel like a fish out of water. I'm like, wow, can't. I
I would
feel
love to
yeah.
have that experience. Yeah.
And it's one thing to go there for vacation and like go to the Great Wall and see some sights. It's another thing to try to exist as a human that you are when you are at home, which is like you
Mm.
want to do the you want to go to the blockchain meetup and you want to go to a co-working space and you want to do all the
Yeah.
things you do at home, right? I'm trying to do those things too. Like I'm trying to do those things in China. Why not? And I'm like, oh, wow, it's way harder. Oh God, it's so much harder. And maybe
Way
it's because I
harder.
haven't it's harder
Particular.
because I can't speak Chinese. I can't type Chinese.
Right.
I can't. I don't know their app infrastructure. I don't know what I don't know, and
Hmm.
I'm just not
Yeah.
used to it. Right.
Yeah. I
That's
mean, it's
it.
just
But
because you just got there. But if you were to live there for like 2 years,
of
you'll
course,
catch up.
yeah, I'll catch up. But I'm getting tastes of it. I'm like, oh wow, yep, it's gonna be hard. And it's not just that. Like firewalls are issues. SIM cards
Mm.
are issues. Like phones are issues. There's a lot of interesting issues that I didn't realize exist there, and that's just fun. That's it, and that's kind of what I'm working on.
How,
But yeah.
how
Uh,
firewalls are an issue? It's like cybersecurity, not like not tight, or what do you mean?
but what I'm saying is the Great Chinese Firewall is, when you're in China, you're not allowed to access American servers.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, like you need VPN services to
Yeah.
bypass it. You can't go on Discord in China.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of intricacies there that you can feel that. You can
Hmm.
feel, but just because there's one obvious firewall in internet, you start to realize, wow, there's a lot of firewalls that aren't computer basis. Like
Mm.
there's real firewalls and there's real things that have been implemented to prevent people from, you know, spreading ideas and knowledge and things. It's just interesting.
That's pretty cool,
I'll end it there. Thanks, Noah, for having me on the podcast. It was awesome.
bro. What's your podcast? How can I find it?
It's called Rejected Potential. It's on YouTube. Rejected is Rejected. Potential. It's me and my buddy. Yeah.
It's your body. Let me just. I'm just trying to get to YouTube and not there. Rejected potential. Oh, I see you. Yeah, I'm gonna follow you right now, man. Subscribe
Thanks, buddy.
for sure.
All right. Bye bye, guys.
Man, thank you for coming, man. I'm really glad that we got to do this and just talk. I'm open for it anytime you are. So
I'm
just
up
let
for
me know.
another one, buddy. I'm just a little tired, and I had to put
Yeah.
a light in my eyes for too long to be illuminated because I didn't like showing up in the dark, and now I'm in the dark, guys.
Yeah, I can see. I can see. I'm gonna stop the recording now. But thank you, man. And yeah, it looks dark. So if you're very tired, I understand. Have a good night.
Yeah, no worries. It's easy.
Peace, man.